On today's wrestling news, Darren Drozdov unfortunately passes away. We've got a surprising match set to headline Money in the Bank. We've also got an update on Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank. And is LA Knight set for a big push? Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is Phil Chambers on the road in London for Money in the Bank, which is happening tonight that we're going to. But first up, the wrestling news. And unfortunately, we start on a sad note as Darren Drozdov has passed away, aged 54. Now, this news broke right before SmackDown last night. The family's put out a statement about it saying that he passed away due to natural causes. They went on to thank WWE for continuing to support Darren for the final 24 years of his life after suffering a life-threatening injury in a match with D'Lo Brown back in 1999, which left him paralyzed. Now, he was obviously confined to a wheelchair, but he always seemed to have really good spirits, and he regained some feeling in his upper body towards the end of his life. But his spirit never faded despite truly grim circumstances, and that's something his family members reminisced about when sharing the sad news. They extended deepest appreciation to everyone for all the well wishes that are already pouring in, and said they'd like Drozdov to be remembered positively for his warmth, love, and laughter. Now, he had an unfortunately short run in WWE. He debuted in 1998 with a puking gimmick, which you can see in a very famous scene from Beyond the Mat of Vince McMahon yelling at him, trying to get him to puke in his office, as he could puke on command, apparently. And that's where the gimmick came from, obviously. He also had a stint in the Legion of Doom, which ended in that famous segment of Hawk being pushed off the Titantron at the end. WhatCulture obviously sends all our condolences to Darren's family and friends, and I just wanted to end with a little paragraph from the statement that the family put out, because it's just really nice. It just says that everyone who knew Darren was a better person because of it. He taught everyone so much about how to look at life, how to put things in perspective, how to overcome adversity, and how to show compassion for others. He would not want anyone to be sad at this moment, and would want this to be a celebration of his life, to be remembered for all the great things that he accomplished, the fun, the laughter, the great memories he shared with everyone. So on that note, get down in the comments below and share any stories you might have about Darren Drozdov and this sad news. But moving on from that, we have a surprising match that is set to headline Money in the Bank tonight in London, where I am right now. So this is coming from PW Insider Elite, reporting that of all of the matches on this card, a big show, a stacked show with obviously the big bloodline match of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, and Seth versus Finn Balor for the World Championship, and then also the ladder matches on top of this as well. On all of these matches, it's going to be Cody versus Dominic Mysterio that will close out Money in the Bank. But why? Here's why. It's because of Brock Lesnar, basically. There is a rumor that he will be making a surprise return to set up Brock versus Cody 3 at SummerSlam. Now, we've not seen Brock since Night of Champions when he beat Cody, and the rumor is currently coming from WRKD Wrestling on Twitter, and it hasn't been confirmed anywhere else, so I take it with a bit of a pinch of salt, but they each have one win leading into the rubber match, which is supposed to be going down at SummerSlam, with the rumors supposedly saying that Cody is after a bull rope match for that, which is a strange stipulation for WWE in the modern age, but Cody has a long and storied tradition with it as a match, and obviously links to Dusty Rhodes and things like that. So I think it would be a very entertaining match if they end up doing a bull rope match. It'll be fascinating to see Cody strapped to Brock Lesnar. WWE are also seemingly wanting to kind of make a big splash with these sort of new non-US big pay-per-view live events to show that anything can happen on them, and to make sure that people tune in, because they'll be at weird times in America. And this would be one hell of a way of doing that, having Brock Lesnar appear randomly on a show in London to set up the big match at SummerSlam, and that looks like what's going to happen. So we'll have to wait and see tonight at Money in the Bank to see what goes down. But speaking of Money in the Bank, it's obviously a big event and a big pay-per-view and a big British event as well, and there is one big British name missing from this card, and it is Drew McIntyre. So what is he up to leading into Money in the Bank? Now, this is coming from PW Insider Elite. And McIntyre is currently in contract talks with WWE, and reports are saying that his contract is almost expired now and no new deal has been reached. Now, the continued absence from TV is due to creative differences between the two parties. Now, his appearance at Money in the Bank would come down to a creative choice, but the way things are going, it doesn't look likely, and if they can't come to terms on a contract sometime soon, the future for Drew McIntyre in WWE is, well, unknown. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that, but it's not looking likely that Drew McIntyre will be showing up in London for the big pay-per-view tonight. And finally, on today's news, is LA Knight set for a big push leading out of this pay-per-view? Now, this is more me wildly speculating, but he has got a new shirt up on WWE.com. Finally, they have got a shirt on WWE.com. Now, on the surface, this isn't that interesting. I mean, a wrestler gets merch, big whoop, whatever. But historically, these things come just as someone is about to get a big push in WWE. I always hark back to the Yes shirts for Daniel Bryan. He was doing the Yes chant for a really long time, and it got super over with the fans long before they ever finally got that Yes, Yes, Yes t-shirt out on WWE shop. But then when he did, that was when they were set to sort of get behind Bryan a little bit. Obviously, it was a bit shaky at times, but that was when his big push started, when they finally got that merch done. Same with Zack Ryder. He just had the sort of basic Zack Ryder photograph t-shirt for absolutely ages, and that was all he's had until finally they came out with the Broski t-shirts, and that was when they kind of got behind him a bit. So I'm not saying LA Knight's one's going to be like Daniel Bryan and he's going to be main eventing WrestleMania next year, but this is a really, really good sign that WWE are finally properly getting behind him and starting to back him. His reactions, LA Knight's reactions in the live crowds are absolutely insane. He was super over in the building for SmackDown last night, and yeah, the crowds are just going absolutely wild for him, and it's about time they did something with him, because he's been like this for quite a long time now. The reactions were the same for Mania weekend and long before this as well. He is super, super over with the live crowds. So it's nice to see WWE at least doing something behind him. Whether or not he wins Money in the Bank tonight is yet to be seen. Obviously, Logan Paul is still in that, and WWE's probably gonna WWE and put the briefcase on Logan Paul. However, I do think that big things are in store for LA Knight coming out of this pay-per-view. Whether or not he wins the Money in the Bank, I think he's going to be getting a big push, and I, for one, am really, really excited about it. Yeah. But that is today's news. Thank you very much for joining me. Please click this video down here to watch ups and downs for SmackDown last night. We had a massive live crowd outside of the O2 Arena, and it was really good fun. So please do watch that. Follow me on Twitter @PhilMyChambers. Subscribe, comment down below, etc. And have yourselves a bloody good day.